so I had some technical hiccups which I've managed to resolve, so we're going to give this another try. Anyway, I am playing Ultima II, The Revenge of the Enchantress. In this sequel, you're out to defeat the sorceress Minax, who's the lover of Mundane, the villain from the first Ultima game, who's taking revenge on you for killing Mundane. And doing this, she has polluted the time stream to cause an apocalyptic catastrophe in the future. So first thing we need to do is I already created a character, so I'm not going to go through that again. My character is an elf thief, which is basically easy mode in this game because you can get everything you need by stealing. That's actually one thing that eventually bothered Richard Garriott down the road, and that's why he created the morality system that was introduced in Quest of the Avatar. He wanted the players themselves to be a little bit more enlightened. So, alright, so this is the start of the game. So I'm going to wander over here. Okay, we're going to go into this town down here and get some basic supplies to get started. I'd like to get a weapon and some armor. I can't really do much as far as weapons because I don't have a lot of strength or agility right now. I also need to get some food because you can run out of food really fast. One of my earlier playthroughs, I starved to death before I'd known it, and it was pretty early on in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and get a sword. I do have enough agility to use that sword, so... Okay, we're going to go over to the armory. I'm going to wear that leather armor. I don't think I have enough strength to really get anything better than leather at this point. You know, strength determines how good of an armor you can use, and then agility determines how good of a weapon you can use. I'm going to go ahead and get a horse. So the enemies in this game give you anywhere from 1 to 17 points of experience and 1 to 17 gold, no matter how powerful they are. That's one of the weird quirks in this game, so there's no special advantage to attacking powerful enemies. I need to get some food before I starve to death. I kind of think this horse actually makes you eat food faster. So let's see. Alright. So anyway, if this world map looks familiar, it's because it's meant to represent the real world. Townland is in Italy, and Leicester Village is apparently in Namibia in Africa. Alright, let's kill this thief here. I got 7 gold, 1 experience, and a green gem. But I need to get some food or I'm going to starve to death. So 300 units of food isn't going to last long because apparently your character has the metabolism of a hummingbird. Now when you lower the enemy's hit points by a certain amount, they run away briefly, and then they, after a few turns, they come right back at you. So, alright, this is where I wanted to go. So this is Port Boniface. I'm going to show you where we can get as much food as we need. So up here we have McDonald's. Yep. 12 beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. Pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. It's even got a drive-through window. And you can actually hold up the drive-through window and rob it. And this is Lord British's castle. Apparently in this world he actually rules over Britain. The real Britain, not the town of Britain from later Ultimate games, as well as the first game. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try to steal some more food. I'm going to go ahead and... Of course, if you get caught stealing, then... Alright, I got some food here. Oh, better move, because the guard caught me. And just like in all the early Ultimate games, you know, all you have to do is leave town and all is forgiven and all is forgotten. So, that one guy there has to be stationed at the window in order to successfully steal food. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just try to steal as much food as we think we can get away with. It'd be easier if I had higher agility, which you can pretty much steal all the food up to the maximum of 99.99. In the early Ultimate games, it's really impossible to get by without stealing and murdering, and when Lord British realized that, that's why he made the morality system in Quest of the Avatars, because he wanted the actual players to be more enlightened as well as the in-game characters. Okay. So this time we're really cleaning out this restaurant here by basically sticking up the drive-thru. Yep, this is a robbery. I don't think they're gonna let me have any more on this go around. I'm gonna keep doing this for some time until I have enough food to get by for the rest of the game. I think that horse. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this, like a lot of early RPGs, this game is a lot of grinding for gold and food. Experience points are pretty worthless in this game. They just basically serve as a score. It's gold that determines your ability to raise your stats. Anyway, I'm going to go on one more robbery spree of the drive-thru, and then you'd think this guy would learn by now. Alright. I think I've got enough food to last for a while. So I'm going to wait for this time door to show up, and now it's time to grind for gold. Yeah, so there's not really too much to this part of the game. Just grinding for gold and food. As a result of that, it's not the most exciting game out there. Especially not for a live stream. But my goal here is to find a frigate, because frigates kind of supercharge your ability to grind, because you can use the cannons on the frigates to just blow up enemies from a safe distance. Let's see, I'm going to bring that. Alright, here work. Okay, so I got 115 gold. I'm going to need a lot more than that. Okay. Alright. So this is South America. There's a tower there, but it's not really necessary to visit the towers in this game. I will do one of them though, just for the purposes of this playthrough. See if I've got any items. I don't really have any items of note. That's one other thing you have to grind for, is items. They're dropped by enemies at random. So, nothing going on over here in Asia. I'll go ahead and kill these monsters here. I need to get some. Need to get some gold, so I can. Alright, I'm about to die here. So I need to go to Lord British's castle and get some hit points. So which I'm gonna do by going back to where we just were, because that's the fastest path to Lord British. The monsters are really showing up here. Alright, I can always come back to this. Okay, we're gonna go talk to Lord British. Let's see if we've got enough gold to do anything. Yep, every 50 gold gets you 300 hit points, so I'm going to offer 150 gold. Okay, how much gold times 100? 1. Okay, let's go get some more gold. Sorry, that's time door disappeared before I could get to it. So there's a signpost in Australia that tells you what time period you're in, but can't get to Australia without a boat. I need to get more agility. Okay. Yep, so I only got 2 gold for that dangerous sea serpent. A lot of the stuff in this game is so random. Got 15 gold for that lowly orc there. So what I'm looking for right now is a frigate. So I can just use the cannons to blast away at enemies, and that's going to be a shockingly large part of this game, just the grinding. But the frigate just like turbocharges your grinding and makes it absolutely safe. Let's see. I'm going to go to South America. There's a time gate here that's kind of important. Waiting for this time gate to show up. We'll go ahead and kill this thief here. Okay, so it looks like I've gotten a few items. That brass button is needed to start a plane. It's one of my notifications for Steam, by the way. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, this isn't the most exciting gameplay for Twitch or YouTube Live, but Okay, we're gonna kill this orc here. And we're gonna stop here in this town in Texas. It's called New San Antonio. Now, Lord British is actually a longtime Texas resident. He grew up there and went to high school in Houston, I believe. So this is a very important location. A lot of the stuff you need to win the game is here. So that's an airport. In real life, San Antonio is a big hub of the United States Air Force. My dad used to go there once a year for annual training with the Arizona Air National Guard. So, okay. So this guy is very important. We're at the Hotel California. And what this guy does is he raises your stats. He's the only person in the game that does that, this random hotel clerk. So if you give him, for every 100 gold you give him, he boosts your stats up. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and boost my agility up because that will hopefully help me hit more often and get hit less. Okay. Hoping a frigate will show up. I might just have to explore the world a little bit. Let's see. Let's go find some time gates. Okay, these enemies cast paralysis and immobilization spells. I think I'm going to need to go to Lord British again, get some more hit points at some point. Let's find this time gate. Okay. This, I believe, is the bad future, where everything is destroyed. Yeah, no. Okay, here's a frigate. Alright, it's about time. Let's see if I got blue tassels, though. Think again, huh? Well, I'm going to leave that there. In order to board a frigate, you need blue tassels. A lot of the items in this all the items in this game have various purposes, although I don't know what all of them do. So let's go back to this time period where we have Townland and Leicester. That's easy to get to other stuff. I think the thieves have blue tassels. Yep. Okay, so I've got blue tassel. Alright, it's time to head back to that place where I found that frigate. Okay, this time period I believe is Pangea. You know, but one thing about Ultima II is that it had a lot of neat ideas that, due to the technology limitations of the time, he just wasn't able to implement. So, you know, the time travel aspect was obviously much better implemented 15 years later in Chrono Trigger. Alright. See if that frigate's still there. Yep, it is. Okay. Alright, so I apparently don't have everything I need to board a frigate. I need to get some strange coins. Strange coins actually help. All right. So, just need for another frigate to show up and for me to have the right items to board it with. Alright, better get some hit points. Also gonna need to go back to McDonald's and steal food from their walk-up window, since you don't have... I mean, I guess the horse is sort of a drive-through thing. Oh boy. Definitely gonna need to go get some hit points. That's one thing that the frigate definitely helps with, is because you can grind without putting yourself in danger, thanks to the cannons. Alright. Waiting for that time door to show up. I am really needing it. Okay. Not sure why that time door isn't showing up like it's supposed to. Actually might help if I was in the right time period. Yeah, that's why I don't like this about the thieves. This thief is robbing me blind. Okay, that's enough of that. I'll have to come back to him and deal with him later. Alright. Okay, I think this is the one I need to go to. Alright, let's go get some hit points. Alright, so I got enough hit points to get by. Okay, I'm gonna go steal some more food out of McDonald's. Nope. I want to get some. I want to pay 0 for that food. Alright. Remember, kids, crime doesn't pay. Alright. That demon over there that's in Ireland is going to be a bit of a problem, I think. Cast those paralysis spells. Alright, finally managed to get away from him. Alright. So right now, my goal is to find a frigate. Okay. All the blue-green stuff around the Amazon is poison swamp. Yeah, it's a common annoying feature in early RPGs. Dragon Quest had them too. Dragon Quest 3 also had the real world map as its world map. And it probably implemented it a little better than Ultima did, since it's a few years later, even though every area still looks like Akira Toriyama's version of medieval Europe. Alright. Meantime, while we're waiting for a frigate to just show up, we're just going to grind. So there's nothing down here in Africa except for that tower up in Egypt. Here comes one of those demons. Really need to get more. Really need to get more agility and stuff, so it enable me to hit more consistently. But what I really need is a frigate. Okay, so I got 75 gold. That's a powerful demon. You have to let that one go because I don't seem to be able to hit it worth a damn. So I'm going to go ahead and lose it behind these Central Asian mountains. Okay. Here comes that demon. I think I'm gonna lose him behind the Rocky Mountains up here. Stay and terrorize the people in Alaska. Sorry, Alaska. All right. Okay. Alright. Now trilithiums are important because they're spaceship fuel. In fact, they're the sole objective of the dungeons. And originally the game was supposed to have the trilithium fuel available only in the dungeons, but yeah, it's one of the frustrating things about Ultima II is that everything is so much left up to the chance of the old random number gods. Like I said, this really is an interesting game. You get a lot of neat ideas. It's just putting them into practice, you know, demanded more resources and computing power than you had access to at the time. At some point I'll probably do a playthrough of Ultima 1 and Ultima 3 on live stream. Ultima 1's pretty interesting as well. Alright, so we're at 150 gold. Still need the items. Still need frigates and items though. Alright, 1 gold, that's not gonna do. Alright. I think I'm gonna go raid the drive-thru at McDonald's again. Port Boniface in Scotland. And there comes the guard. One of the things about these old games is the very simple AI. The guard will just stand there running into a wall while the drive-through keeps getting held up. All right, let's get some more hit points here. All right, we're up to 1,800 hit points. Unfortunately, these enemies will rapidly burn through that unless I get some more agility and better armor, which requires better strength. May as well go and stock up on food using my 5-finger discount card. Right, well, the way cleaning crew works. Let the clerk do his job. And that demon's gonna have to be dealt with at some point because it's annoying. Can't really hurt me from all the way over there, but it's still annoying. Here comes a guard. Not sure where that guard comes from that actually is able to come after you while you're trying to rob the drive-through window, but alright, should have enough food for now at least. Alright, I think the thieves have the item I need to steal a frigate. Okay, so I have a blue tassel again. So if another frigate shows up, hopefully I'll be able to board it this time. I'm not sure why I couldn't board that last one. Okay. Okay, 17 gold. That's about the best you do in this game. Is time is 17 gold. 15's not bad either. But I'm gonna need a lot of gold. Let's see. I'm doing on items. I wish a frigate would show up. Okay. Take that, sea serpent. Okay. I think I figured out what I'm going to do. One of the best places to get a frigate is on the Time of Legends, which is the home of Mine Axe. It's a bit dangerous, but the monsters really show up in force in the Time of Legends. And the way the game works, they kind of accumulate, so by the time you actually go and attack Mine Axe, you gotta fight your way through hordes of monsters. And I don't know if that was intentional on Garriott's part, but it works out pretty well for the plot of the game. See, there's a whole bunch of Balrons and thieves here. See, there's like a whole bunch of monsters here. Maybe I better not do that. Okay, so back here, South America. Sorry. This gets to be thirsty work here. Alright. Just gotta do what I can until I actually find what I'm looking for. Or if I can beat this demon. Yeah, I've got him on the run, so he must be close to dead. No, he's dead. Okay. Problem with thieves is that they're important to get certain items, but they also steal your stuff, including the items that you're trying to stock up on. Also not a lot of sound in this game. Ooh, frigate. Must be a Viking frigate since that's Scandinavia. Alright, let's lure him down to France here. Or Belgium. Alright. Okay. Not sure why I can't board that. Oh yeah, I think it's... Sorry, I just bumped my... Alright, I have to get off the horse, I think. Alright. Okay, I've got a frigate. Now, here's the nice thing you can do with frigates. And another one spawned right below it. Alright. You can use the fire command to shoot at enemies from this safe distance. Alright, we're going to sail around Greenland. Okay. So this is going to really turbocharge the grind. Plus, you can use the frigate as a bridge between Britain and mainland Europe. And you don't consume food while you're on the frigate. Alright. This makes things much easier. Okay, let's explore the world. There's South America. We're going to sail around Africa. Boy, Australia's having a monster problem here. Alright, we're going to exit. Okay, the signpost here. So, 1990 AD. This game was made in 1982, so 1990 was still kind of a futuristic date. And sometime in 1990, San Antonio apparently got blown up and replaced with New San Antonio. There's Hawaii and Japan, and Taiwan. Alright. Now I can just blast these monsters at will. What I need now is torches for my dungeon run. I also need more trilithiums for spaceship fuel, which I get plenty of trilithium if I make it to the top of a dungeon. I need torches because the dungeons are dark and you frequently run into traps that blow out your torches down there, so you need a lot of them. Alright. This is going so much smoother. Plus, you don't consume food when you're on a frigate for whatever reason. Must have a really good galley. It's well stocked up on the ship. Go to Spain and Portugal. Okay, there's apparently orcs and thieves menacing New York right now. That cannon will take care of them. Sail around Svalbard. I think it's Svalbard, or maybe it's Novaya Zemlya. Maybe Novaya Zemlya is where the Russians tested the Tsar bomb in 1950s. It created a 40-mile high mushroom cloud that was shockwave felt as far away as Finland. Okay, I think these guys have torches. Fortunately, you know, this game's logic doesn't allow you to buy torches. Alright, we're going to go to Florida and waste that thief. Okay, we'll lure that thief down to Savannah and orc down to Savannah. Alright, so right now we're just grinding for gold, and yeah, gold makes the world go round in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and save here so that something happens I can automatically restore from that last save. I need to start saving more frequently. As Victor Ireland always said, save is your best and only friend. Alright, we got some more monsters in Europe. I'm gonna lure them to France here. Okay. So, up to 350 gold here. Okay. Strange coins freeze time, so you want to save those for when you need them. Okay. So lovely be able to rack up gold, but I just wish that these monsters would give you more than one or two at a time. Okay. Okay. Prowling around looking for monsters to blast with my ship's cannons. See if there's anything going on in Australia and New Zealand. Nope. So there's a orc running around terrorizing Eastern. Oh, something showed up in Australia. It's in Perth right now. Alright, let's lure this orc down to Cape Town. Thief hanging around in Venezuela. Another thief taking in the raid. Another orc taking at the raids at Cancun. I'm going to spoil his vacation with my cannons. Or that demon down to Florida. Sea Serpent gave me the maximum of 17 gold. Okay. See what I've got on items. All I need is torches for my dungeon run. I may have to park my ship in the English Channel and go to another time period to see if I can find a more fruitful area for grinding. Anyway, this lets me go easily from mainland Europe to Britain, so I can get more food and more hit points, but I actually want more stats. Let's go ahead and I think I'm going to build up my charisma for now, because charisma actually helps with buying high-end items later on in the game. That's really going to make any huge difference in pricing. So we'll leave New San Antonio. Okay. Might as well board the frigate and more grinding. Okay, so my objective now is to find an airplane. We can get at New San Antonio, but it's gonna be a little bit dangerous. We can also find a frigate in a certain time period. Alright. So let's go ahead and get rid of this orc in Belgium here. Okay. I'd like to find another frigate. Okay, let's go over to I'd like to find a frigate in this time period. I squandered one earlier. See, North America is no longer connected to South America in this time period because there's apparently a lot of destruction. It raised the sea level of the ocean. There's also no land bridge between between Alaska and Russia. So I'm just gonna have to chill out for now. Hope that I run across a frigate. It's easier to get a frigate than it is to get a plane, because planes are usually heavily guarded. You need a brass button to fly a plane, and I've got those. It's just there are a lot of guards, and guards are probably the most powerful enemies in this game, which is, you know, as they are in every Ultima game, except for Lord British. Let me get some water. Alright. The aftermath is a very important time period, but the time doors to get there are extremely limited. So magical boots protect you from being paralyzed by the paralysis spells of these demons. While you're galvaning one time period, monsters are still spawning in other time periods, I think. So maybe by the time I return there, there'll be a frigate waiting for me to board. Okay, let's see what I got here. This thief down Cabo. If I could survive in that tower, you can actually go in that tower and grind for gold pretty easily, and it's a lot easier than just sailing around and blowing up monsters. Except you have to have torches, of course. Otherwise it'll be dark and you end up really messing up the game. What did he steal, though? Okay, still trying to find a frigate. Okay. Alright, that's what I needed. Alright, we're going to go ahead and board that. So now I can grind here. But now I can get around to important areas. And okay, this made my game much easier. Wait, that's not the... Now this will work. This is fine. This will help with the grind here. Go ahead and blow up that orc that's been terrorizing Victoria Island. Okay. Slow these down to Cape Town and blast them. accumulated quite a bit of gold at this point. Need lots more gold. Okay, this is where I want to find a frigate at. Wish I hadn't squandered that one earlier, because this game would be moving along a lot faster if that was the case. Here, frigate, frigate, frigate. No, the monsters don't heal when they run away. They just run away. And then they come back and attack you even though they're still at death's door. Find a frigate in this time period, it's gonna be a lot of cleanup work. And there is a lot of monsters there. Let's go to the Hotel California and get some more stats. Alright, up to 59 charisma. The maximum of each stat is 99, so at 99 it'll really lower the prices of things in this game. I also need strength for armor, especially for some reason I can't find a frigate in 2112 AD, because then I'll have to fight my way through guards and get a plane. Yeah, well, there's a frigate, but it's in the wrong time period. Nice thing about planes is that they can be taken through time doors. Taken into places. If I could just take this frigate into New San Antonio, I could easily get a plane. Let's see. Yeah, so I got a total of 4 gold for that. That's not going to really do it all. Might as well stock up on food while I'm here. Alright, I'm going to go hold up the drive-thru here. Sometimes stealing doesn't work too well. I think there's a time door here. We've pretty much seen all the different areas in the game right now. Definitely need more stats. Just need a frigate in 2112. Go through that time door because I'll never get that frigate back if I do. Alright, why does that thief keep stealing from me? Get the blue tassels I need. The ship's cannons even make short work of Balrons. That's what I believe those big winged demons are called. Alright, let's try this again. Either gonna need a plane or a frigate, and I'm just not having too much luck getting a frigate. Thief stole something. Let's see what he stole. I've actually got 3 strange coins now. If I had a lot of strange coins, I could probably just force my way through New San Antonio and obtain a plane, and that would do for this part of the game. Your object is to get to the only town in 2112 that's still around, which is in Russia. Destroy that orc that's in southern Greenland. Okay. If I hadn't squandered that one frigate. But, you know, live and learn. The reason I did so is because I didn't know I needed to be off my horse in order to board the frigates, but I should have known that. Apparently no horses allowed on ships in this game. I don't know if the number of monsters that proliferated over in Siberia will limit the chances of a frigate actually appearing in this game, in this part of the map. Okay. Probably is a frigate somewhere on the map that's stranded up against one of the other land masses. Okay, I guess if I get a few more strange coins, which I think you can find from those demons that cast paralysis spells, you know, maybe I could just steal a plane. There's a enemy terrorizing Hawaii. Boy, he is getting robbed here trying to kill him because for some reason my cannons aren't hitting him. Not sure how. Another thief in Victoria. And he got me for something else. These thieves keep on getting into me for stuff. And I'm about to run out of blue tassels here. And they're the ones that actually carry them. I need a blue tassel just in case I do find a frigate in that one time period. Okay. Yeah, why can't I find a frigate where I actually need one? Okay, I'm going to save here. Alright, I might just... go to New San Antonio and do another stat boost. Alright, I've almost maxed out my charisma. That'll make stuff a lot cheaper to get. Alright, death and destroy. Okay, so I can get the most, the best weapon you can buy anyway for 220. Yeah, that prison has some important clues in it. Alright, power armor only 1508. Might as well sail around the world and try to get more stuff. Okay. This is the part where I really either need a frigate or a plane. Need some kind of vehicle though. Oh man, that would be such a mess for looting. Okay. Alright, well I tell you what, I think I'm going to take a little break from this. And I will pick this up later. So hopefully later today. I'm going to go ahead and save. Alright, well, we will see you in a little bit then.